Hey, what's up YouTube? It's the Chaotic Dragon back again, today with another What Would He Play list. In case you're new here, this is a series where I take characters from the main Yu-Gi-Oh series and I go over the decks they would play if they existed alongside of us in the real world. Today's duelist is Maximilian Pegasus. This guy is the first big antagonist of the original Yu-Gi-Oh series. Later becomes an ally instead of a villain. And I dare say he is the most memorable villain out of the entire series. Aside from some of the characters you may meet later on in this series. So, let's begin. We always start with the obvious deck first. Toons! Yes. If Pegasus existed, he would probably play the Toon deck, with cards like Toon Kingdom having the ability to protect the Toon monsters from being destroyed, and the plethora of Toon monsters to pick from, many of which that can attack directly, and are really hard to kill, and others also have the ability to spam the board, such as the Dark Magician Red Eyes combo. A lot of them are boss monsters. They have high attack points, and if they have effects, they usually are effects similar to their non-Toon counterpart. Number 2, Relinquished. This is a new archetype, as you can see by the Japanese writing here. The Relinquished monster from the original Yu-Gi-Oh game is now becoming an entire archetype of monsters, with updated cards of from the I believe it's the Thousand Eyes Illusionist, and then of course they're getting its own Relinquished fusion. I think they're going to call it the Millennium Eyes, is what I think they're going to call them. But they're Thousand Eyes Restrict and Relinquished updated cards. Plus we also have an updated Faceless Mage card. And it's going to be interesting. I imagine this entire strategy will involve stealing your monsters, or your opponent's monsters, or preventing your opponent from having the ability to attack. But only time will tell. I don't really know what this card does yet, but I imagine it does some pretty interesting stuff. So, when this stuff is translated, or when I get a chance to look it up, I will. But, let's face it, these are supposed to be updated and more powerful versions of cards Pegasus would already play, and from what I've been hearing from other YouTubers, they do combo well with the old cards. So, win-win. Deck number 3, Fluffles. This one's a little out there. As you guys know, I always kind of throw a little bit of curveball at you, like cards that I believe the character would play, but are not necessarily been seen them being played in the show. And this is it. This is the curveball deck, Fluffles. Why do I think Pegasus would play Fluffles? Because he has a thing for cute and creepy, and Fluffles is nothing if not cute and or creepy. They are that combination of the two. So I dare say, and then I'm going to also quote Pegasus, or the actor who was playing Pegasus at I want to say a WCQ. I want to say maybe about 2 years ago at most. Not this last one, but I think the one before that. The actor, it could be 2 years ago. There was this thing where they had Billy Brake hand the actor a wind-up deck, and he says, "If there's anything I love more than cartoons, it's toys." And speaking of toys, that leads us to our next deck. Oh, sorry guys. Wind-ups. Yes, because Pegasus loves toys. Now the Fluffles are all stuffed animals, which is a type of toy, which also goes into with the wind-ups here. Pegasus says if he loves cartoons, he also loves toys, which nobody should be shocked by, because Pegasus is kind of this man who lives with his inner child. So nobody should be really shocked that he likes cute little robot toys, which is what all wind-up monsters are. And then the last deck, and the most likely, I think, the deck he would play, if he existed in our world, Burning Abyss. Now, the reason for this is another WCQ. Pegasus was playing against Joey. That was the duel they set up for entertainment, and Pegasus piloted a Burning Abyss deck. And I think that this deck truly does speak to Pegasus as a person, because the Burning Abyss deck is not based on the Devil May Cry series, much like everyone might think it is. I actually think that's part of the joke of having him play this deck, because Pegasus has silver hair, Dante has silver hair from Devil May Cry. You see the parallel there, and that's where I think they were drawing that. And then, but the archetype itself is based off of the story Dante's Inferno. And for those of you who don't know, this is a story about a crusader from the Crusade times, way back when man was still fighting with, you know, swords and shields, and we rode horses into battle, and, you know what I mean, we wore like medieval armor and knights and all that stuff. The story of Dante is he's a crusader who went deliberately into hell to rescue the soul of his lover Beatrice, and along the way he battles all these various demons, and by the end of the story he defeats Lucifer, the devil, rescues Beatrice, and escapes hell. That's the end of the story, in short. But Dante's Inferno is a very cool story, and that's where this Burning Abyss archetype, and it mirrors Pegasus, because Pegasus is very much like Dante, because if you didn't watch the Yu-Gi-Oh! Original animated series, he's trying to collect the Millennium items so he can see his lover again. That's the connection. You know what I mean? He wants to see his love again. So he thinks by gathering the 7 Millennium items, he'd be able to do that. And that's the parallel. So this is actually the most likely deck that Pegasus would play if he was a real person, because this deck really represents his soul. Someone who I think is, you know, that he's doing the right thing, but he does it in the wrong way. And it's very much a parallel to that. And Dante is an interesting character from Dante's Inferno. Plus, Pegasus has a similar hair color to Dante from Devil May Cry. So it's a little bit of humor, a little bit of soul parallels there from the two characters. And yeah. So this has been my top 5 decks that he would play. If you like this kind of video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to see more, I will be bringing back deck profiles to this channel. I've just been very busy. I've started doing skits on my other channel, so if you guys want to check that out, I'll leave a link at the end of the video. And yeah, this is the Chaotic Dragon, and I'm signing off. Have a good one, guys. I'm out!